Let's get started with some skin prep. So I'm going to take the KRxx Illuminating Setting Spray for a healthy little glow. To conceal my eyes, I'm going to take the Boi-ing Benefit Concealer in the shade number 2 and just start to work that all over my eyelid, taking it right up to the brow bone just to give me a nice even surface ready for my shadows. I'm working that product on with a Zoeva bullet brush. I love that it distributes the product quite evenly around my eye, and it also just evens out my skin tone, which is what I need it to do most. And we're going to set over that concealer with the By Terry Compact with a nice fluffy brush just to get a really nice soft surface. To fill in my brows today, I'm going to take Brow Code in the shade Deep Brown and an angled brush by Zoeva, and we're going to start to work that product just underneath the brows, filling in really softly because I don't want to overfill the brows, but I want to make them look nice, even, fluffy, defined, killer brows, you know what I mean? And we're going to replicate some little hairs at the very front of my brow just to fluff them up a little, make them look a little bit more pretty and defined. And we're going to repeat the same process on the other brow as well. To set my brows, I'm going to take Gimme Brow in the shade number 5 by Benefit, and we're just going to run it through the brows to even them out, make sure everything looks the same color and they're nice and even. I want my eyes to be really nice and softly defined, so I'm going to take Power Hungry and a fluffy 227 brush by Zoeva, and we're going to start to run the product just through the socket line of the eye, just to give it a little bit more definition in the photos, especially because I want my lips to be so bold. I really want the eyes to be soft and defined, but I don't want them to be too heavy. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the names to these shadows, so I'm just going to guide you guys through placing my brush on the shadow that I'm using. But I'm going to work that little soft brown just on the outside of my eyes. I'm going to start to run it a little bit through the socket. Because it is so soft in color and it's not as pigmented, I can actually work it all the way around the eye without it making it too, you know, dark and... So these colors are a little bit softer in pigment, so it's just going to take me a little bit of time to build up the desired amount that I want. Taking my Ingot 77 gel liner pot and an eyeliner brush by Zoeva, which I will link in the description box below, I'm going to start with creating a tail end to my brow and pretend that there's an imaginary line from my last lash and the tail end of my brow. And I'm going to create that line and then slowly join it up to my eye. Now, the reason I like to do this is because I feel like it is a little bit easier to achieve, and it is more of a complementing shape to my eye because it follows the natural line of my eye shape. I love most about the Ingot Gel Liner is that it is so pigmented in black and it doesn't like throw off any grey or, you know, a silvery effect to the black because it is so pigmented. Although I must say it does destroy your brush, so make sure you have a good brush cleaner to clean it straight away. For lashes today, I'm going to take Lilly lashes in Luxe, but first I'm going to put They Are Real mascara on by Benefit. The reason why I apply my mascara first before my lashes is because it allows me to get right to the root of the lash and wiggle up the product. If I was to do it when my lashes were already on, I run the risk of actually taking the lashes off, so that's why I like to do it this way. To prime my skin, I'm going to take the Glam Glow Illuminating Moisturiser and I'm going to apply it with my fingertips. The reason why I'm doing this is because my fingertips are a little bit more warmer, so it's going to help mold and melt the product into my skin. As you guys can see, I am going a little bit red and burning up. That is just because it is such a highly concentrated product and I am so sensitive. I didn't have to take it off though, it only lasted a couple of seconds. It's time for foundation. I'm going to use the Stila All Day Foundation. Now, I don't know what they changed about the formula of this product, but it is so much better than the last one. It is so creamy, it is full coverage, it oxidizes on the skin, which I actually like about the product. I like when it gets a little bit more warmer and molds to my skin. So I'm going to work it on with a buffing brush by Zoeva first, and then we're going to push a beauty blender into the skin just to keep it really nice and seamless and even. So the reason why I like to use my beauty sponge after I apply it with my brush is just to give it a really nice seamless finish. I don't like to apply all my foundation with my beauty sponge. It just builds up way too much product in the sponge and it hurts my arm really. So I think my brush does the job just fine, just needs a little bit of assistance at the end. Picking up my Boi-ing concealer in the shade number 2 and my bullet brush by Zoeva, we're going to work on a little bit of that product underneath the eyes, little on the chin, forehead, down the bridge of the nose. And then we're going to blend off that product using a beauty sponge. I love that this concealer is super hydrating even though it is so full coverage. I love the coverage. I love how much product comes in the tub. I think it's great value for money. Taking a powder brush and my By Terry Compact, I'm just going to press that powder all over my face. I dipped in a tiny little bit with the highlighter, which I actually just like. It just gives me a soft glow, as you can see on my cheeks just there. To highlight my face today, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palette. Now I've destroyed this one a little bit, guys, sorry. But I'm going to take the SEPHORA fan brush. Now what I like about this brush is that it's actually really heavy and the bristles are really nice and even, so it distributes the product really evenly on my face, as you can see just there. If I was to compare this to my Morphe fan brush, I would definitely say that this one's the winner. I'm going to take my Tarteist Pro palette today and use the contour shade in the powder. I love this contour shade. It is not too muddy, it is not too warm, it just blends really beautifully onto the cheek. Look at that color, it's great. I don't know the number of the brush, I'm so sorry. I'm going to link it down below. I have thrashed that brush, so I can't even see the number if I tried. On my nose a little more, I'm going to take that contouring shade and a fluffy brush just down the sides of my nose, and then I'm going to run a little under my lips to give them a little more volume. I just want to blend everything together, don't want any harsh lines. I'm going to add a little bit of colour on the apples of my cheeks. And now it's time to put my Huda Beauty lip contour on. I love this colour. This is the shade Vixen, and I'm just going to work it on to my lips. I'm going to start by outlining my lips first and overdrawing in the slightest bit to give them a little bit more plumpiness and definition. I'm going to work it around the outlines and making sure that it comes back to the natural point on the sides of my lips. Even though you want to overdraw your lips, overdraw as much as you want, but make sure it always comes back to the natural point on either side so it doesn't look a little too crazy. I'm going to colour in my lips a little with that lip pencil just to make sure that it lasts all day. And then I'm going to work on Vampira by Kat Von D, which is a super dark plummy shade. And we're going to run it all the way over my lips and layer up that product really nicely to ensure that we've got a really nice, bold, defined lip. This colour has great pigment. I did not have to sit there and try and build up a pigment to it, which I think is a fantastic quality to have in a lipstick. And especially because it was matte, I didn't find that it was too drying at all. It was actually quite creamy, even though it is quite matte. So I was very happy with that. To finish off, we're going to set my face with my Illuminating setting spray. And that is the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!